Hello, everybody. We're going to be playing this new game that I found on Reddit here, and it's for Star Trek Voyager. It's based on the episode Worst Case Scenario, and it follows if Harry Kim played Insurrection Alpha. This game is inspired by the episode Coworker Murder Simulator from a podcast titled Voyager Please. I haven't actually listened to the podcast. I've never listened to them before, but I'm not a big podcast listener yet. I'm trying to get into it, so I'm definitely adding these guys to the list. I thought it'd be a fun little playthrough, so let's just check it out. Tom, I'm like the last person on the ship to have not played the Coworker Murder Simulator. Holo novel, Harry. We refer to it as the holo novel. Tom's eyes dart in each direction down the corridor, outside the heavy metal sliding doors to holodeck 2. Fine, holo novel. But I'm so deep in hock to you that I won't have a holodeck ration to my name for another, 2 months? You've made some poor life decisions, Harry. Don't remind me, but the captain is sure to shut the program down by then, and I'll never get a chance to try it out. That would be a shame, Harry. You know what? You're my buddy. I'm sure we can come to some reasonable accommodation. What would you be willing to do for an hour of alone time in the holodeck, or in holodeck 2? So we can choose to take Tom's holodeck mop duty for a month. Ew. Wear the Mugatu suit on your next double date with the Delaney sisters. Or fake a Parisi Square's injury to score some meds from sickbay. Definitely the Mugatu suit. That's the big white monkey suit with the horn, right? Asked Tom. The very one. And you would make Mugatu noises? Of course. And jump around like one, savagely? The whole package, Tom. Done and done. Tom punches a few codes into a panel to the right of the holodeck doors and claps you on the back. You decide to enter the holodeck. The arch doors swish together and you enter the empty holodeck. Run Insurrection Alpha, you say. Commencing program. Holodeck resources at 100%, confirms the computer. You find yourself walking along a corridor indistinguishable from Voyager's own Deck 6. A moment later, Commander Chakotay turns a corner and walks alongside you. Where are you headed, he asks. The bridge. Mind if I walk with you, asks the commander. No, I'm glad to have some company. Some company? You mean, like, off-duty company? The light falls across Chakotay's deep, dark eyes. He is standing closer than just a moment ago, his breath hot on your neck. You shudder. Oh, Lord, what's happening? Oh, what? No, I mean, just to walk to the turbo lift. The turbo lift, Chakotay's eyebrows rise mischievously. I don't like this. No, I mean, I just need to take the turbo lift. Yes, of course, Ensign. Very well, let's take the turbo lift. When you reach the end of the corridor, Chakotay presses the call button and asks you, Tuvok still giving you a hard time? Let's see, the choices. I hadn't really noticed. With no one to overhear you in the turbolift, Chakotay confides. I don't know about you, but when I think about spending 70 years in the same ship with that guy, it gives me a headache. I get the impression that a lot of the other crew agrees with me, Maquis and Starfleet. As the turbolift traverses the ship, you reply, about what? Chakotay leans forward conspiratorially. Great word. About what I've been saying. That a lot of the crew aren't too happy with our chief of security. For that matter, I don't think Captain Janeway is winning any popularity contests either. Don't you agree? Why do I get the feeling that you're... Wait. All I know is that I want bacon. Real bacon. I'd kill for actual bacon. We're doing that. Listen, you're a good officer, says Chakotay. If things go sideways, I don't want to see you get hurt. What's going on? Halt turbolift. The lift comes to a rest and Chakotay continues. There's going to be some changes around here. All of the Maquis are in line, and about 25 of the Starfleet crew are with us. A mutiny? Yes. And when the shooting starts, I'm going to need to know which side you're on. Throttle Chakotay to death with your bare hands. Chakotay proves surprising... Well, that's a typo. Chakotay proves surprisingly difficult to kill. You struggle for several minutes mano a mano, catching only brief glimpses of him, mostly from behind and above. Finally, he gains the upper hand and pins you to the wall with his fingers forked beneath your jaw. Between would be terrifying. He gloats. You should never have attacked me, Ensign. Like all members of my tribe, I was trained in the forest snake fighting style. I can kill you with just 2 fingers. Snakes don't have fingers, you plead. How can a snake fighting style be all about fingers? Well, it just is. It's so bad. It's not even a real thing, Chakotay. The consultant for your entire Native American backstory was a charlatan. He made it all up. Your words mean nothing to me, Ensign. I am proud of my heritage. Okay, but your whole world view was contrived by aliens from New Jersey who meddle in the affairs of developing societies. Chakotay's grip tightens and you start to see stars. The world around you fades away. First nearby items, and then the floor and walls, leaving you in a dark room. The walls of the room are patterned with grid work and covered by, well, you'd rather not think about it. You reconsider what went wrong and are sure you could do better next time. Computer reset holodeck and run Insurrection Alpha or try again later after your duty shift. Let's see what to do next. Let's reset the holodeck and try that again. Alright, let's go to the bridge. I'm glad to have some company. Awkward tension. Hadn't really noticed. About what? Why do I get the feeling you're testing? Appear pensive. Ensign, I don't get the sense that your heart is in this, which is just as good since this was a test. Congratulations, Ensign. You passed the loyalty test. I did? Yes. Now let me see. Chakotay produces a pad. It looks like the starboard plasma manifold is due for lubrication. Yes. Now let me see. Chakotay produces a pad. It looks like the starboard warp plasma manifold is due for lubrication. Let me add you to the duty roster. There. Done. He shows you the pad. Yes, you're assigned to sliming up the manifolds for the rest of the day. Chakotay resumes the turbolift, dropping you off in engineering to pick up the radiation suit and plasma squeegee you'll need to lubricate the manifolds. Love the plasma squeegee. That sounds like a cool prop. You spend the rest of your hard-earned holodeck ration sweating in a one-size-too-small radiation suit, still warm from the last shift. Yuck. The world around you fades away. First nearby items, then the floor, then the walls, leaving you in a dark room. The walls are patterned with the grid, blah, 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 blah. Same thing. What? How can I not win? Oh my gosh. Okay, fine. Whatever. I'll do the other one. Reset Insurrection Alpha. The bridge. Glad to have company. Awkward tension. Hadn't really noticed. About what? Totally. Alright, when the shooting starts, I'm going to need to know which side you're on. Agree. Chakotay seems satisfied. Computer, he orders, resume turbolift. Alright, Ensign, here it is. As soon as the captain leaves to meet with the Raccoon, I should have watched the episode before. I want you to put all crew quarters on lockdown. I'll ask you if you have finished upgrading the internal sensors. If you say yes, I'll know we're ready to go. Got it? Give the thumbs up. I guess I'm joining the Maquis. You and Chakotay emerge from the turbolift. He walks down to the center of the bridge, while you step to the side and assume your assigned position at Ops 2. Janeway walks briskly onto the bridge from her ready room. I can't speak. She approaches Chakotay. Well, Commander, Voyager is all yours. Chakotay smiles reassuringly. There's a first time for everything, I guess. Don't worry, Captain. I'll keep your ship safe and sound. I'm sure you will. Tom's voice comes over the bridge speakers. Shuttle bay to Captain Janeway. Go ahead, Mr. Paris, she replies. The shuttle's ready to go whenever you are. On my way. Okay, let's see. What are we going to do next? Should we poke at the controls at Ops 2, give Chakotay a knowing wink, ask the officer at Ops 1 if she is in on the mutiny? Ooh, let's ask her. Lieutenant Cromwell puts her fingers in her ears and stares straight ahead at her console, whispering, la 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 la, I can't hear you. Captain, says Chakotay, I've been thinking. Are you sure you don't want to take Lieutenant Tuvok with you just in case the Rukani turn out to be less friendly than they seem? I assure you, Commander, says Tuvok, that I have made thorough preparations for Captain's safety during her away mission. You, on the other hand, are still adapting to your duties as first officer. Under the circumstances, I believe my time will be better spent assisting you in your efforts to justify the trust the Captain has placed in you. I appreciate your concern for my safety, Mr. Chakotay, but Tuvok's right. Lieutenant Paris and I will be fine. I'll see you in 24 hours. The captain walks confidently off the bridge on the way to the shuttle bay. As soon as she is gone, Chakotay turns to Tuvok. Lieutenant, I want you to keep close tabs on the captain's shuttle. Let's make sure she doesn't run into any trouble. Aye, sir, replies Tuvok, outwardly compliant, but internally consumed with the logic-suppressed hatred for the terrorist that took his rightful place at second in command. Are we going to shoot Chakotay, buy our time, or send a message? Let's send a message. You're too late. The shuttle has already gone to warp, but at least they will know what's going on when they get the message. Chakotay approaches Hollow Harry Kim's station on the bridge. Ensign, let's shut down the transporters and start the diagnostic we've been putting off. Sir? Are you sure we shouldn't wait for the captain to get back? Do I really look that dorky? Not wanting to be left out of the conversation, Tuvok admonishes, Ensign Kim, you have been given a direct order. Do as the commander tells you. Aye, sir, Hollow Harry punches some buttons on the console. Chakotay walks over to you. The moment of truth. Have you finished upgrading the internal sensors, Ensign? I'm working on it. Die, you mutinous dogs. I forget. Is that the signal to mutiny? Mother effers, says Chakotay. Mother what now? asks Tuvok, for once let down by the universal translator. Chakotay slaps his comm badge. Chakotay to all hands. Let's do it. Let's do what? Asks Tuvok, now desperate for some context. Harry, look out. Tuvok, get down. Long live the Maquis. I'm with you, Chakotay, or die, you mutinous dogs. I'm with you, Chakotay. You are welcomed into the ranks of mutineers, and they print you up a Maquis uniform. It is far from the height of fashion, but you reckon it will do. Once you've been accessorized, the first order of business is to round up the Federation crew members that have been locked down in their quarters. You're trying to bring them to the cargo bay, where Chakotay will give them the opportunity to join the mutiny. You are authorized to stun anyone who resists. Who will be your first victim? Kess, Lon Suitor, or Ensign Wildman's helpless infant? Ooh. Suitor's gonna kill me, so I'm gonna stun him. You set off to round up the crew and Seska joins you. You did a good job today. A rare compliment from Seska. Thank you. Just be sure to keep it up. What's that supposed to mean? It means I'm not as easy to win over as Chakotay. You arrive outside the door to Lon Suitor's quarters. Seska continues down the corridor. You get that one. I'll be over here. You walk boldly into the dimly lit quarters. Lon, are you here? No reply. Gradually, your eyes adapt to the dark and the heads on pikes come into focus. You are struck from behind by a blunt object. The world around you fades away. First nearby items, then the floor and the walls, leaving you... Oh my gosh, I died! You reconsider what went wrong. Are you sure you could do better next time? Oh my goodness. Lon Suitor just killed me. And apparently other people. I'm with you, Chakotay. Let's get Kess instead this time. I think that'll work out a little better. You arrive outside the door to Kess's cabin. Seska takes point at the corridor junction and you open the door with the security code. What's this about? Come with me, you order. Why are we being treated like prisoners? Because you are prisoners, duh. You motion with your phaser rifle for her to exit her quarters. And thus you learn what it's like to have your brain boiled from the inside by an angry space elf with psychotic tendencies. And to think, just last week she was your mother-in-law. That is such a good joke. Oh my goodness. Kess, it's me, Harry. But she's way beyond rational now. You picked a bad day to mess with her. She was already ticked off about having so few lines in the episode and knowing that she was getting the boot at the end of the season. Maddened with rage, she pictures a volcano going off inside your head. Oh my gosh, I died. What? Am I gonna have to shoot a baby? Okay. I guess I'll do what must be done.
Do what must be done.
Forget. I'm with you, Chakotay. Okay, who will be my first victim? Ensign Wildman's helpless infant? This is so awful. Whew, I can do this. All right, I'm shooting Ensign Wildman's baby. I'm so sorry, Naomi. Okay. You arrive outside the door to Ensign Wildman's quarters. You enter without the least apprehension because you know that Ensign Wildman went down in hand-to-hand combat in the port torpedo bay a couple of hours ago, leaving her newborn baby undefended in her quarters. Whoa, wait! She left the baby alone in the quarters? Can you do that? I don't know. I'm not a parent. I don't know. Well, orders are orders. You commandeer the stroller and push the baby to Cargo Bay 1 for indoctrination. When you arrive, Maquis guards surround the stroller and push it up against the wall with the other prisoners. With the Federation crew locked down, those loyal to the Maquis throw one heck of a party in the mess hall. This is followed in short order by a montage of activities related to restoring ship systems, many of which were sabotaged by the former comrades before they were captured. In fact, everything is going along swimmingly until the ship is rocked by a phaser blast from Janeway's shuttle. Here we go. You're manning the bridge security station when the shuttle is detected. There's some banter between Chakotay and Janeway, which you more or less ignore since the security console is kind of busy with readouts and controls. You do catch the last thing Chakotay said, though. Ensign, target the shuttle and destroy it. Ooh, what to do? I assume phasers since the shields are probably still up. So, fire phasers. The shuttle explodes. Booyah! You pump your fists in the air. I didn't expect that to work, actually. Chakotay, shouts one of the Maquis lackeys on the bridge. They took advantage of our attack to beam on board. Hold on, what? Chakotay rubs his eyes. Are you saying that we engaged another ship in combat and didn't raise our shields? You didn't say to raise the shields, sir, replies Marvin Snoodby, who last week was in charge of rug maintenance and is now manning ops. Okay. Snoodby glows briefly and disappears, struck by Chakotay's phaser set to disintegrate. New SOP, announces Chakotay. When we are in space battle, raise our shields. Nods of agreement among the remaining, entirely terrified bridge crew. Ensign, you're with me. Janeway had her chance. Should we join Chakotay? Turn the tables, shoot Chakotay. You whip out your hand phaser and squeeze off a shot, which goes hilariously wide. If only you had set it to wide stun rather than pinpoint beam. You have only a fraction of a second to regret your lack of hand-eye coordination before return fire sends you flying into a bulkhead. Chakotay stands over you. I guess you've made your choice. Carlson, O'Donnell, take the ensign to the brig. Alright. You find yourself in one of those prisoner cells in Voyager's brig, a relatively large facility considering the ship's primary mission of deep space exploration. But you have more pressing matters to consider at present. You walk up to Tuvok, who seems to be stoically contemplating the shimmering force field that imprisons you and the other crew members. What's our plan, Tuvok, you ask. What did you have in mind, Ensign? Escape. Retake the ship. We will indeed when the time is right. What about trying it now? Such a foolhardy that's a typo. Such a foolhardy proposal suggests a lack of proper training. Need I remind you that we are confined behind an electrostatic force field? At times like this, Tuvok can be a royal wiener. Not to mention that he's the only one responsible for security training in the first place. We can't just sit here and do nothing. We are hardly doing nothing. We are observing the enemy, watching for any discernible patterns in their procedures, looking for any weaknesses in their defenses. How long is the observing thing going to take? Procedure dictates that we wait for the right opportunity to escape, whether it takes an hour or a week. Now, if you do not have a plan, I suggest you conserve your energy and join me in meditation. I do have a plan. Tuvok listens patiently while you lay out your cunning plan. You suggest that you could fake an illness, use Vulcan telepathy, blow up the jail cell, or seduce the guard. Use Vulcan telepathy. Sounds like a good idea. Indeed, I am not familiar with this use of Vulcan telepathy. I fail to see how it would be helpful, as Vulcans are touch telepaths, and we are separated from our captors by a force field. But Vulcan telepathy can reach out across light years. I saw it on Star Trek Discovery. Tuvok's backhand slap nearly renders you unconscious, but the Vulcan seems entirely composed when remarks, Discovery is not true Star Trek. Fine, you wipe the blood from around your... What? Wait a second. What? Whatever. Okay. I'll allow it, Tuvok. Fine. You wipe the blood from around the corner of your mouth where the blow landed. But what about the time Spock made telepathic suggestions, like when they were captured by the Yangs and he hypnotized Sarah into opening a communicator? Tuvok knits his brow. That is an exception. Or, you continue, the time Spock and Kirk were held in a cave by the Kelvans. Man, I need to learn Star Trek species names. Apparently I'm really garbage at it. Whatever. Or reading. Spock more or less mind-melded right through the cavern wall, luring Kalinda into the cave. None of that is canon, points out Tuvok, clasping his hands behind his back. How can you question the legitimacy anything drawn directly from the original series? Your argument is invalid, Ensign. Do you have anything else useful to contribute? Yes. You suggest that you could... seduce the guard. Indeed. Perhaps there is some merit to the suggestion. History is rife with examples of human passion surpassing common sense. Please, allow me a moment of solitude to compose myself for the attempt. But no, Tuvok, no, you. I meant that I could. Quiet, Ensign. I am entering the Pon Califoot. A sacred Vulcan foreplay trance. His hands come together before him, fingers templed, and his eyes roll back. He chants something so quietly you can't quite hear it. You look on in horror. This was your idea, after all. The Vulcan rips off his shirt and beats upon his chest, singing the Pon Califoot mating song. The guards look in, amused, and call their friends to watch. Soon the brig is crowded with Maquis. Some of them have their tricorders out to make videos. This goes on longer than you could have expected, and indeed ends poorly for one of your fellow prisoners, who assists Tuvok in the completion of the ceremony. When he is again himself, Tuvok cuffs you. Any other brilliant ideas? Yes. Fake an illness. An illness? Tuvok raises a cynical eyebrow. Yes. You lie on the floor, holding your stomach and wail in pain. When the guards come, I karate chop them. Vulcans do not cry out in pain. You screamed like a baby when the Mokra questioned you about Alsarian resistance. You are mistaken. That even never occurred. I feel like that's not quite the English I was supposed to read, but whatever. Dang, you're right. That didn't happen until season 2. Never mind. Okay. How about I do the wailing, and when they come into the cell, you nerve pinch them? Why would our captors care if you are sick? Because that is a stupid plan, Ensign. Any other ideas? Okay, this was the worst idea. Why is blow up the jail cell the one? Oh, I think I figured out the game. You have to do the dumb thing. Blow up the jail cell. And how do you propose to do that? Asks Tuvok. We have no explosives, nor are our captors likely to provision us with any. Crew members who are still free outside the cell could plant a charge on the back wall of the cell. And how would they know we are held here? I could tap out a message in Morse code. That is an inane plan. It worked in Star Trek V. Star Trek V never happened. Do you hear me, Ensign? It never happened. Aye, sir. Now, do you have anything relevant to offer? Just wait until the plot advances. Okay, that's pretty good. I dig it. Maquis guards order everyone except Tuvok and Harry, Hollow Harry, out of the brig and march you through the ship at gunpoint. One of them shoves you into the cargo bay 1, where some of the other members of the crew have already been imprisoned. You note that no officers are among them, just rank and file. Not long afterwards, Chakotay and Seska walk in, gloating about how easy it was to take over the ship. This goes on for a while. Finally, Chakotay gets the point. In short, I've taken control of the ship. I don't blame any of you for the mistakes of your leaders, so I'm giving you a choice. You can be put off the ship with your superior officers at the next habitable planet we come to, or you can do what Neelix and some of the other crew members have already done. Join me. If you do, you'll be part of a crew that will do whatever it takes to get us home as fast as possible. Under my command, we won't let almighty Federation principles get in the way of opportunities, the way Janeway did when she destroyed the array that could have gotten us home. One of your crewmates stepped forward to join Chakotay, and we won't waste precious time investigating every insignificant anomaly that we come across. 2 more break ranks to join the Maquis. What we will do is use any means necessary to acquire technology that will shorten the journey. To heck with Starfleet regulations. The rest of your former crewmates join the mutiny, fists pumping into the air. What about you? Seska asks. Will you pledge your loyalty to Chakotay? Alright. Yes, O trapped queen I live to serve. What is the benefit plan like under the Maquis? You can shove your mutiny where your pulsar don't irradiate. Ooh, that's a good line. But, Let's ask about the benefit plan. Seska and Chakotay confer briefly, and then he addresses you. Well, since we are in the midst of an armed revolution, we have not yet appointed a human resources officer. As soon as we do, we will draw up a summary of all benefits, including all Maquis and Federation holidays, paid overtime, and comp time when stranded due to shuttle accidents. The crew whoops in enthusiasm, Seska adds, and 6 weeks paid paternity leave. Paternity leave? Chakotay wonders where that one came from. In any event, why don't you start on maintenance? Mr. Ayala, Please escort the ensign to the warp plasma manifold. I believe the starboard chamber is sorely in need of lubrication. Aye, sir. Ayala beams with pride that he got a line. That's good. He grabs you by the upper arm and escorts you directly to the plasma chamber, hands you a squeegee, and locks you in. Oh. Oh. No. I thought I was doing so good. I should have just... dang it. Oh, wait. What's this? I figured out how to cheat. Took kind of long. Oh, well. I'll do it anyway. Yes. Oh, trap queen. I live to serve. Fine, says Seska. She throws you her phaser rifle. We just received news that Janeway and Paris have boarded Voyager. Chakotay is on his way to deal with them. Go join him. Chakotay takes the lead, storming into the brig. You arrive on his heels just in time to see him confront the captain. Get away from that panel, he orders. In reply, the captain shoots Chakotay with her phaser, striking his shoulder. Chakotay is still able to return fire, however, and you hear the captain go down with a scream. But you are also aware of the door to the brig swishing open behind you. When you turn around to look, Tom Paris has a phaser leveled at you. Drop it, he says, gesturing toward the weapon. Abruptly, he fades away. The holodeck program ends without warning. The ship's computer announces, program terminated. No additional narrative parameters have been defined. Ooh, this is interesting. Go back to work, rerun it, see what others are in the holodeck waste bin, or edit the narrative parameter. What's in the holodeck waste? You root through a holographic waste bin and discover the following discarded files. Neelix choke die, pawn farther, emergency use only, Vic Fontaine's greatest hits, and Captain Photon's S&M castle. What's an S&M? Let's find out what an S&M is. Sadism and masochism. Oh no. I'll delete my search history later. Of course, none of these can be run until they are restored to the main active partition of the holodeck. Okay. Edit the narrative parameters. Computer, open the narrative parameters file of the current program for editing. Unhappy beep. The program file is password protected. You set the holodeck to occupied, run to the bridge, and snatch the post-it note under Tuvok's security console. When you return to the holodeck, you instruct the computer to open the narrative parameters file of the current program for editing. Clearance Tuvok 4774. Then something odd happens. Oh no! This is great. This is so good. The holodeck resumes and you are in the brig, alone. Seska stands just to the other side of the force field, phaser rifle in hand. Hello, Tuvok, she begins. You look around, but Tuvok isn't in the cell with you. Then you realize she's talking to you. Must be a holodeck glitch. I'm not Tuvok. Don't F around with me, Tuvok. I've been expecting you. If you can see me, you're obviously reopened the narrative parameters file of the tactical scenario you've been working on. This is BS. I'm not Tuvok. I'm Harry, and you're just a hologram. That's right, a holographic representation of Seska, one of the Maquis shipmates you betrayed. I would have thought all the time you spent spying on us would have given you a little more insight into the Maquis, but after looking over what you've already written, I can see that you need a little help. So I've created this representation of myself to guide you through the rest of the program. What? Is Tom playing a practical joke on me? No, I finished writing the tactical simulation and added a few revisions of my own. The holodeck is now sealed. Your friends will find it very difficult to get you out of here, and the safety protocols are off, which means that if I shoot you, and I'm going to shoot you, you'll die, but not just yet. She lowers the force field and waves the phaser rifle under your nose. You've got 10 seconds to run. 9, 8, 7... Ooh, okay. Holodeck end program. Transporter room. Beam out. Seska, come on. Be reasonable. Run! The brig doors swish shut behind you, cutting off the sound of Seska's countdown. You flee for your life down one of Voyager's nondescript halls at a full prancing trot. You've served on the ship for almost 3 years now, and you know the layout like the back of your hand, so you run towards the shuttle bay. Everyone knows how trivial it is to hijack Federation shuttles, and that's clearly your best bet. You can take the Jeffries tube to the hangar deck and crack the access hatch open to make sure the coast is clear. No one. The hatches on Shuttle 5 are open and is fueled and ready to go, but you'll have to make a beeline across the deck with no cover to reach the shuttle. You run full out, zigzagging around, diving to the ground and rolling on your shoulder, just like you saw in all the Academy training videos. As you slip inside the shuttle, you catch sight of Seska standing in the shuttle control room, which overlooks the entire hangar deck. Oddly, she does not seem upset. In fact, she is waving goodbye. Uh-oh. You bypass the pre-flight checks and gun the thrusters. Before you can bring down the shuttle bay force field, it winks out. You realize Seska must have brought it down herself. You crank up the warp engines and Voyager disappears behind you. Secure in your escape, you plot a course to an M-class planet in the opposite direction. This story is going really weird. 1 week later. Ensign's log supplemental. About 1 week since I escaped Voyager and crashed on this moon. Power levels minimal. Radiation levels beyond lethal. Oxygen reserve all but depleted. Still not sure what happened, but it did occur to me that we never actually succeeded in landing one of our shuttlecraft on a planet without crashing. You have died. Oh no! Oh. Okay. That is a good point. Voyager messed up a lot of shuttles. Wow, this is insane. Well, I think that's a pretty good start. Maybe I'll go back and play this again sometime. But I'm going to call it quits. I'm pretty satisfied with Harry dying on a moon like that. Thanks for watching. This was fun. A little bit of spelling errors here and there. Some poor comma usage. But you know what? It was fun. It reads like really good fan fiction. I'll probably play this again on my own time. But yeah, thanks for watching. We'll see if I do this again. See ya.